Sarah. Good morning. Welcome to Startup Podcast, which is called as HealthTech with Purpose.
Thank you so much. Hi,
Awesome. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks.
Great. So, Sarah, we would like to know about your story. We would like to know a little bit more about you to start with, and then like to know about your startup more.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Sarah Lambert. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ora Medical. So we are a Montreal-based company. So I have a background in physical therapy and mechanical engineering. So everything started because I saw a big need in the field of physical therapy. So my patients were coming to me once every few weeks, but I had no idea what was going on in between the sessions. So my goal was really to reproduce my therapy at home. And this is why I switched to physical therapy, to mechanical engineering, to really like try to solve new solutions for patients to be able to walk at home. Because right now it's approximately 39% of people with walking disabilities that cannot leave their place. And this is why 72% of them have insufficient health therapies and services. So physical rehabilitation is really not accessible for those people with
Hmm.
walking disabilities.
Interesting. So you combine your knowledge of mechanical engineering and physical therapy to build this startup.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, wow. So, what's the impact about it? And can you tell us a story wherein it has started helping somebody?
Yeah, sure. So I had one of my patients. Her name is Naila. So she had a lot of difficulties to being able to walk at home because um, school was taking more place in her life, and physical rehabilitation and treatment were not as frequent as it should be. And her mom had like difficulties to like go see the physical therapist on a daily basis. But to be able to walk, Naila would need therapy on a daily
Yeah,
basis.
yeah.
Just that right now it's not accessible, like it would cost way too much. So my goal was really to reproduce this device. So we took this patient as an example, Naila. We followed her journey. So we did a few iterations with her. Our first prototype was built in 2021,
Wow.
and we tested it with her, and it worked pretty well. It's just that we needed to do some adjustments. So we did actually four versions of these prototypes.
Mhm.
And Naila, she used it, the last prototype, since August. And at the beginning, she was only doing 3 steps by her own, so without any devices. She was only able to walk like 3 steps.
Okay.
And now she used the device on a daily basis. And now she's doing more than 80 steps by her
Wow.
own. Yeah, so there's a big improvement. We do have an impact because she's feeling way much more confident. She can play like soccer and basketball with her uh, brother,
Wow.
and there's a better inclusion, I think. So we do
Yeah.
have this a lot of impact
Yeah.
regarding how we will change this children life.
Amazing. So, how does the overall, the process works? Uh, because you said initially the access was an issue, right? So
Yeah.
now, let's say if there is somebody who wants to go through the therapy, how would the whole process work, start to end?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for now, our business model is to sell to hospitals and physical therapy clinics.
Mhm.
So we have a renting model, so they can buy the device and like on a monthly basis. So we
Okay.
have this recurring revenue model. We rent the device and the platform, so they
Mhm.
can also rent it
Okay.
to their patients after.
Okay. And then they can themselves monitor the progress on the app. That
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's amazing.
the gait trainer.
Mhm.
We call it a smart gait trainer. So we take the patients by the hips
Mhm.
and we support their weight, and we patented this partial weight support technology.
Okay.
So as long as the child improve, we can adjust the support as if a physical therapist was just behind the patient trying to make them getting back to walk.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we collect a lot of data such as the speed, the distance, the
Yeah.
orientation of the trunk. So it's basically like having a gait lab, but like an affordable one at home that can really be like, yeah.
Yeah.
basically having a physical therapist with them.
That's great. So they have like a personal session at home, because I think especially for kids the comfort of home is really really important, right?
Yeah,
They would do much better, and they would learn quickly when they are in an environment which is friendly to them,
yeah,
right? And at the same time, they don't have to invest too much in actually buying the device, right? They can rent it out,
yeah,
and once they see a lot of improvement, they can rent it. I mean, they can end the subscription.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
So this is why we really want to rent to the hospitals, because
Mhm.
they can have like all of the gait trainers in place, and they can decide how they dispatch it.
Okay.
Yeah, and for now it worked pretty well. So they can see more patients, because like one patient that was, for example, coming every 2 weeks,
Mhm.
now they can see him like every month
Yeah.
instead. So
Yep.
they can have a better workflow. They
Yep.
can see more patients in lifetime.
Yeah, that is amazing. That itself will increase the scale of because they will be able to see more patients, and at the same time, patient can do their therapy on their own when they are in the comfort of their house. Brilliant.
Exactly, yeah. So it's empower. Our goal is to empower
Mhm.
people to do home therapy. So
Yeah.
that was the first step with children. And for adults, we're just scaling the sensors. So we will
Awesome.
do the exact same thing. So instead of having all the device that takes some partial weight support, we just measure the gait. So like all those elderly people who are decreasing in their uh, walking abilities,
Mhm.
now we monitor how they are actually going and progressing, or
Yeah.
if they are regressing, and we will be able to predict the fall. So,
Yeah.
for example, if a patient is decreasing at their speed, we can track really precisely how they are going,
Yeah.
and then we can say to the family or the clinicians, "Oh, look closely to this patient, because they will have this really high risk to fall in the next 3 days if you're not looking."
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So one final question to you, Sarah. As our podcast says, right, health tech with purpose.
Yeah.
So what made you go into this? What made you build this idea, and what's the purpose?
Yeah, so my purpose was to help my patients getting back to walk, and mostly children, because they're really vulnerable and there's
Hmm.
nothing really for them. And what brings the more joy to our team is really to see the patient's face and when they use the device.
Yeah.
So they are saying that we will change the whole prognostic of the patient. So I know that we're making a huge difference and making rehabilitation more accessible.
Awesome. Great to know about your story. Nice talking to you. Say hi to everybody who's watching. So this was Sarah from Ora. Awesome. Nice talking to you, Sarah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.